The story begins on the first day of John college school life. He didn't expect the luck that would come to him when he was going to his newly rented apartment. He suddenly received a message from Ju, his high school best friend and crush. She's the reason why he chose that university. Ju wanted to meet him to celebrate his admission to college. John immediately accepted it and hurried home to change his clothes because he didn't want Ju to smell him like didn't bathe for 2 weeks. When he arrived at the gate, Shia was there, standing, playing with a lighter, and it seemed like she doesn't care about her surroundings. That's where it all started. John thought Shia was waiting for someone, so he went into his house. But when he came back, Shia was still there. Shia seemed familiar to him, so he asked if he saw Shia, or if she was an idol. But Shia answered as he started walking closer to John like crazy. She asked John what he needed from her, as she pointed the lighter straight at him. John didn't have a survival instinct and didn't avoid it. Then Shia just laughed, and John made a joke that he will call the police because of this. Shia forced him to do that because she could use the woman card and say he was a stalker, and John was messing with him. John knew what would happen to him if he was caught in a fake case. That's why he immediately asked for forgiveness and explained that his friend was a fan of her. He also showed a shameful and cringy dance from Shia's group, which was she called it disgusting. Fortunately for John, he received a text from Ju and used it as a reason to escape. Shia tried to stop him, but John ran away. When he got to meet Zhu, she's shivering with cold, so they went into a cafe. John told to Ju his terrifying encounter with Shia and how he wanted to avoid her. After that, they started talking to each other to make up for the past time. John suddenly asked Ju if he already had a boyfriend, which surprised her. Ju asked him why he wanted to know that. John answered and said he wanted to invite her for Netflix and chill, but he immediately denied what he said and admitted that he didn't have Netflix. He just said that they might be able to hang out sometimes because he was just close to the university. Ju said he didn't need to explain because she also wanted to be with him sometimes. They left at the cafe and John put his scarf on Zoe's neck like a gentleman because it was getting cold. He said she would return it tomorrow, and she doesn't need washed it. After this, they parted ways. When John arrived at his apartment, he was surprised to see Shia was still standing at the gate. He thought she was crazy for her to stand there in the whole day, but she suddenly approached him and said he would never tell anyone that she lived there. If not, he would beat him up. After that, Shia entered the house and John chased her, wondering if she lived on the ground floor of his apartment. Before he could ask, Shia suddenly lost consciousness and fell down. John got nervous and immediately called 911. Early in the morning, he woke up because of the unceasing ringing of his doorbell. He opened the door while thinking about who woke him up that early. He was very surprised to see Shia smiling and bringing breakfast. She said she bought it on his way home from the hospital and asked if he wanted to eat with her. John was shocked about Shia's strange behavior. That changes like a roller coaster. But even if it's confusing, he still doesn't want to get involved with her. John said he already ate breakfast and locked the door in front of Shia. Shia said to open the door and let her in because she just came from the hospital. She added that she just wanted to give something good to John. But he didn't believe her. Later, John went to his class. And after the first lecture, he texted Ju if she had time so they can meet again. Ju answered that she was busy with class, so she couldn't find time for John now, and apologized because she forgot to bring John's scarf. While John was looking at his phone, an ugly and rude nerd peeked into his chat. He teased him with another friend of theirs, who asked if he was talking to his crush, and started making fun of him about rejecting her. Later, John went home to apartment. He's a little sad because he didn't see Ju. At the gate, he met Shia again, who now looks very friendly. He didn't trust her, so he avoided it like avoiding a donation pop-up on Wikipedia and went inside right away. It happened again and again, but Shia didn't care about his avoidance again and again. Then one day, Shia went straight to John's classroom in school. The whole class immediately noticed her presence as she's waving to John, who was tense. Shia approached and told John to come with her because the class was over. He was so nervous and embarrassed at the same time, he held Shia's hand and they quickly left the classroom. When they arrived at a quiet place, he asked Shia what he needed from him. Shia said that she remembered that John brought her to the hospital. John suddenly thought of telling Shia that he couldn't accept her feelings because he already liked someone else. Shia laughed and called him a fool because he thought all the girls who approached him liked him. Shia explained that she didn't fall in love with John because he saved her, but she just wanted to be his friend because she had no friends. John said that she should talk to the girls in his class and was sure that there were also those who lived in her apartment. Shia said that she didn't have one to talk to because she rented the whole apartment for herself. John was surprised that she can paid 3 times to the normal rent, so he agreed to be her friend. Shia didn't have a problem, even though John looked like a gold digger. Shia explained that she was suspended because of wrong actions, but now she is trying to change. She said that she wanted to have more friends, and she chose John to start because he lived upstairs. John accepted and asked for her number. He said that they should have dinner sometimes. After that, they went home to their apartment, and John called Shia's name loudly. Shia immediately covered John's mouth with her fingers so that her true identity would not be revealed. John felt butterflies in his stomach and asked why she did that. Shia said that she was just kidding. She also added that it's good that John already likes someone because he looks like the type of person who becomes a clingy creep when given a little attention. He told Shia not to worry because SE wouldn't fall for her. Shia suddenly approached and asked, "What if I'm the one who fall for you?" John was shocked and said it seemed impossible because he didn't have a Riz. Shia stood up while saying that she was just kidding, but John started to be attracted to her. After that, John went to a freshman or welcome party where a senior asked about Shia. He said that he wanted to court Shia if she was single, but John remembered that she was going to beat him if he gave any details. He tried to avoid the senior's question, but he gave her a beer until he got drunk. Shia suddenly called. She just wanted to know when he would go home. Not on purpose, John started flirting with her. Suddenly, the drunk senior came and took John's phone and talked to Shia. John tried to take back his phone, and Shia thought that he might be fighting with someone. In the place where John was, he was trying to take care of his senior who was vomiting on the side of the road. While he was thinking about Ju, he suddenly saw a woman that looks like her. But he found out that he was just tricked by alcohol, and the woman he saw was Shia. She approached him, brought a bottle of beer, and found out that John didn't fight to someone else. John was confused about how Shia found him, but suddenly the drunk senior came to introduce himself to Shia. Shia knew his intention and told him not to think of getting close to her with that face. Shia told John that they had to leave immediately, and before he could answer, she held his hand. John felt the beating of his heart, but suddenly John's other hand was held by the drunk. He said that Shia should talk to him first, but Shia said that she didn't have to waste even a second for someone like him. When he started to scream, Shia took his weapon to use it. John was shocked that the situation could be chaotic, but his senior was too drunk to retreat. The senior took off his hat and told Shia to hit him if she can really do it, while patting Shia's head. Shia was very angry and she really going to hit him, but before she could hit the man, John intervened. He told the man to take his hand from Shia and took the bottle from Shia. He drank from it and gave it to the man, saying that he should prove his manhood by finishing the beer. The man took it and started to drink the beer. After he finished it, he was shocked because John and Shia were gone. They ran quickly and stopped at a quiet corner. John asked Shia what she was thinking because she might have been caught by the police for the act of assault. Shia was saddened by what she heard and suddenly cried. John thought that she was one of those crazy psychopaths who has no sympathy and no hesitation to hurt others. While crying, Shia said that there's always in a mess whenever she comes out. Even if she wanted to change the course of his life, it's always came back to this. John was surprised by what he heard and think that she had an anxiety disorder. Shia said that he doesn't want to be alone anymore, so she wants to have friends who will support her in his difficult times. John realized that Shia's past is complicated and said that he will be her friend and willing help her. Shia was happy and said that she really bought the beer for John to drink with her after the party. John asked her how she found him, and Shia showed him the banners referring to various freshman parties. John followed it and suddenly stopped in front of a poster of the party of Ju's college. He suddenly ran to see Ju and Shia chased him. When John saw Ju, he called her. Ju looked at him, smiled, and shouted. John thought that Ju would introduce him to her friends, But it turned out that Shia was the one Ju yelled to call. Ju met Shia as a famous idol and said that she was a big fan of her. People around them noticed Shia as an idol who was involved in a scandal after leaving the country because of the violence to her companions in the band. Shia was angry, thinking that Ju intended to do it. Shia goes home and asks John to decide to stay with Ju. Ju asked John if she was wrong, but John answered that it was okay. Suddenly they approached each other and they both were surprised. When John brought Ju home, she couldn't get a taxi or bus. She called her friends, but no one answered. Ju was afraid, wondering where he was going to go. She said her parents were strict, so she couldn't spend the night outside. John had an idea. In just a few minutes, they were in front of Shia's door. He brought beer and snacks as an offering. They asked Shia to call Ju's parents and tell them that she would spend the night there. Shia didn't want to, but because of John, she agreed. She called Ju's parents and told them the reason. Ju thanked her and decided to go to the school's library. Shia said she should just go inside her house. At the end, when the two girls were drunk, they quickly got over their first bad meeting and became friends. John went to get water for them, but when he opened an old cabinet, he saw a pack of cigarettes and Shia's lighter. Meanwhile, Ju was getting cold. So Ju opened the heater, but Shia couldn't handle it. So she took off his sweater and went out of the house. John noticed that she went out, so he followed her to give his sweater to her. When Ju looked at John's abs, it gave her a strange feeling. When he came out, John told Shia to put on his sweater even though she said it was okay. They started talking about Ju, and John said they've been friends since high school. Shia said she was jealous of this kind of long friendship because all of her friends quickly disappeared. Suddenly she cried. She said her friends promised that they were always by her side, but broke their promises and left her. John was forced to comfort her, so he reached out his hand. Shia immediately held it and started crying on his shoulder. At first, John didn't want to get involved, but now he wants to know more about Shia and help her. The next day, John's day started with vomiting because of the excess alcohol he drank that night while he was trying to get Shia out of his mind. Shia was sitting outside the bathroom and making fun of him. When John came out, he asked where Ju was. Shia said she left early after taking a bath because she didn't want her parents to smell the alcohol on her body. Shia started looking for her lighter, and John helped her. As he was looking for it, he saw a pack of cigarettes and asked if it belonged to Shia. Shia immediately threw it in the toilet, and John didn't even ask. The night before, he wanted to ask why she was crying, but he couldn't ask. John thought about Shia and almost searched the internet when Shia suddenly approached. She started to act cute, and John felt butterflies in his stomach. To get rid of the strange feeling, he immediately went out to throw garbage. A month passed quickly, and John was always get teased by his classmates about Shia as his girlfriend because she always visited him. One day, while he was talking to a drunk senior from the last incident, Shia arrived, but with Ju and John, suddenly felt nervous. Shia said they were planning to watch cherry blossoms and invited him to join. John agreed, and they went to the garden. Shia immediately started taking pictures while John and Ju were left behind. Because of the awkward situation, they also do taking pictures. Shia asked John to get her fake candids. John noticed that Shia's personality was very different from Ju, while cherry blossoms reminded him that the midterms were coming. After that, they went back to their apartments. John invited Ju to study for the midterms, but she said he should study with his classmates. John was sad. Shia noticed everything, so she showed John a beautiful picture of Ju to confuse him. Shia asked him if he liked Ju, and no matter how John denied it, he forced to admit it. Shia said it was obvious, and it's brighter than the sun. But John immediately stopped the conversation because he believes that Ju doesn't like him. He mentioned the signs. Ju did not immediately give back his scarf. She refused to watch the sequel of his favorite movie with him and often introduced him as a friend. Because of this, John thought that Ju didn't want any romantic connection with him. Shia sent the pictures to Ju, and when Ju saw John's picture up close, her heartbeat became faster. While saving it, she received a text from her parents, and suddenly her expression changed. Meanwhile, John and Shia go back to the garden, and John took out all his feelings there. After that, Shia reached out her hand while going home. John was surprised but agreed, and he was so embarrassed that he crashed his into a pole. A few days later, John went home from school when he met his classmate named Cheyenne. He said he should come to a get-together with the three girls from another school. Even though John did not answer, Cheyenne included him to the plan. But suddenly Shia arrived and she gave John a meaningful look before she went inside. Later, while John was busy studying, she went into his room. John told her to knock first before entering because maybe he was doing something like playing with unborn children. She approached John and told him that they had already passed that stage. After that, she told him that she knew about John's group date that night, so she had a surprise for him. She told John to take a shower first before the surprise, and John wondered if Shia was desperate when she knew that he would meet other girls. But instead of losing his V card like he expected, what he got was a whole makeup session from Shia. She told him that she wanted John to be the most handsome man on the group date. She also told him that she wanted to see how handsome John was when he made an effort. John no longer asked why Shia was doing this, so he just followed and told that he would be the highlight of the night. But Shia forbade him to have a girlfriend, because they can't bond like before. John said that even if he get a girlfriend, they will still be friends. But Shia told him to think about it, and she approached John and said, "Friends don't do holding hands." John was surprised and thought about Shia's real intention. She often teased him, so he's wondering if Shia only did that to him or she does it to others too. The night comes, and the group date was held at a karaoke. Cheyenne and another man arrived first, along with the three girls. One of them, who has orange hair, is obviously feel irritated because there is a man who loves music, but his singing is cringy, and he started singing since he arrived. Meanwhile, Cheyenne seems nervous, and the orange-haired girl is getting angry because she prepared for this. John suddenly arrived, and Rooney was immediately impressed by his look. Even the other girls also caught his attention and became close to John. They put lipstick on John, but not in the way he expected. He was forced to accompany the trip of the girls, while Rooney was secretly looking at him. They take a picture of him, and he noticed that the lipstick he's wearing is the same shade of lipstick as Shia. Later, Cheyenne told him that, as a punishment for being late, he had to sing. John agreed and took the microphone, and he started singing, and Rooney noticed that his voice was also good. She thought of John as his type and decided to make the first move. While the party was going on, each of them chose a partner and talked to each other. John went to Rooney. Suddenly, he noticed that her earring fell on the floor. He took it and put it back on her ear. John became interested in Rooney's earrings and asked if it hurts to do piercing. Rooney said that most of them didn't, but John guessed which one was the most painful. Rooney was impressed by his answer and tried to see if John also had earrings. But their conversation stopped when they heard a loud static from microphone. It was Cheyenne who was talking and had an important announcement. They were going to play a wedlock drinking game where the partners will drink their arms close together. The difficulty of each round of the bottle will increase. Some couples are in difficulty level 1 to 3, and John thought of what level 4 would look like. Rooney said to him that they need to drink through a kiss, and they both turned red. When Rooney turned to spin bottle, she hoped it wouldn't point on her, but it stopped on her. Her friends teased him, saying that she might have prayed for it because she wanted to do level 4 with John. They said she couldn't take his eyes off to John since he arrived. Rooney refused it, but Cheyenne said that there was nothing she could do but follow the rules. Rooney turned red as she was getting closer to John. John thought if she was really going to kiss him. Cheyenne said that she needed to drink first before kissing him. Rooney took a shot and got closer to John again, but suddenly John had a second thoughts in the middle of this excitement and wondered if what they were doing was right. In Rooney's mind, she was thinking the same thing. She came here to forget about her breakup, and in the end, she saw John, but she was wondering if it was right to continue. They both nervous on kissing, but they stopped at the last moment, so Rooney just swallowed the drink. Everyone thought she backed away because she didn't want to kiss John, and higher friends told him not to mind her refusal to do it. But Rooney didn't give up and do another shot. Everyone was excited to see the kiss. But in the last moment, John stopped her and said he couldn't do it. He said was nervous to do that and explained that it is his first kiss and he couldn't feel that it was the right time. Rooney was surprised and spilled the drink on John's face, so they all laughed and called him a loser. As punishment, John was forced to go to the other room and sing. Rooney took a deep breath because she didn't finish to do it. Later, they went out and asked where they were going next. Rooney said she was already drunk and couldn't join them anymore. John said he will take her home, and she agreed right away. They were both nervous as they walked, and Rooney asked John if it was true that he hadn't kissed yet. She also asked about John's love life, and he said he hadn't had a chance to confess his feelings for his crush, so he remained single. When John asked Rooney about her, she stopped walking and said that she had broken up with his longtime boyfriend. Rooney looked sad, so John tried to see if she was crying and pulled his hair from his face. Like a fool, he suddenly noticed Rooney's hair was so soft and asked himself if Shia's hair was that soft. He avoided to think about it and took Rooney home while they were having a good time. When Rooney entered the house, John opened his phone and saw a good luck message from Shia. He wanted to tell Shia on what happened, but while recording the voice message, his phone went low battery. He realized that even though he was happy that night, he was still thinking about Shia. He ran home longing to understand what he really felt, and to his surprise, Shia was still awake. She was sitting in the garden, playing with the lighter while waiting for him. John was happy to see her, and Shia asked if he enjoyed the group date. John said he enjoyed it and sat next to her. He asked what Shia's doing. Shia said she just stayed in her room. Shia suddenly noticed John's lipstick and asked how he got it. John immediately wiped it and explained that he didn't get it like Shia's thinking and said the girls just put it onto him. Shia said she thought they enjoyed it too much. John started telling what happened, almost including the wedlock drinking game. But he decided not to tell that. Even so, Shia noticed it and got jealous. John told her it was just a secret. Shia got mad and kept asking, and John thought it would be better if he just quiet, but it didn't help. Shia suddenly approached and said she wanted to do naughty things to John. John felt his heart beat fast, and suddenly Shia kissed him. John knew this would happen someday, but he wasn't ready. While he was feeling Shia's lips, John immediately pulled her for the second kiss. Shia didn't complain and continued for the third kiss and more. But John suddenly stopped when he felt something bit his hand. He noticed that it was the fire on Shia's lighter while they were kissing. Shia took John's hand and asked for forgiveness and told him to put ice on it. She went to her apartment and left John. John's heart kept beating fast and he couldn't believe what happened. He thought he needed to let go of his felt to be normal after a good night's sleep. But it didn't happen, and when he woke up in the morning, he still felt nervous. John tried to convince himself that the kiss was just a dream, but every time he closed his eyes, he saw Shia in his mind. He decided to go to the library because it might be able to help him take out of it in his mind. But when he looked at the bench, the scene from yesterday was playing in his mind again. While he was busy thinking about this, he noticed an announcement at the gate looking for female housemates. John wondered if Shia liked housemates and asked why. He went to the library, but the only one he could think of was Shia. He started wondering if Shia has always feeling something for him that he didn't notice. Or maybe Shia kissed him because of the heat of the moment. He wondered why Shia went to her room without saying anything, and those thoughts were bothering him all day. When night came, he knocked on Shia's door and she ran to open it. Shia didn't say anything, and when John mentioned the sign at the gate, and he said he couldn't stop thinking about it. He also wanted to talk about what happened last night, and Shia just smiled and let him in. When he came in, Shia's mood suddenly returned to normal, and she was happy to say that they finally kissed last night. John fell to his knees when he heard this, and Shia asked him why he was overreacting. She also asked if that was his first kiss, and John fell to the floor. Shia was surprised when she found out that she had stolen John's first kiss, but John told her to just talk about other things. They calmed down, and John asked again about the sign on the gate of wanting housemates. Shia replied that she wanted to make a lot of friends because the only people she was with are John and Ju. John said it was nice, and they can have dinner together when his exams were over. Shia accepted this and suddenly asked if she could hold John's hand. John turned red and reached out his hand. Then Shia held it as best she could. While they were together, John was nervous and happy at the same time, and Shia laid her head on John's shoulder. From that day on, John always thought about their kiss. After the exams, he started to relax, because the day that the three of them were supposed to have dinner was over. Suddenly, John approached with a smile on his face, saying that they haven't seen each other for a long time. They talked about the exams, and as expected, John was a straight-A student. They decided to go to the library to study together, but it was already full, and they were told to go to a separate room. John thought that they could still see each other during the break time when one of Ju's classmates suddenly arrived. They were friends and were happy with each other, so John was jealous when he saw Ju's friend squeezing his cheek. He was wondering what he would feel if Ju started dating someone else. But he was lucky enough that was just a friend, and Ju even asked him if he wanted to have lunch together. He asked if Ju didn't want to have lunch with his boyfriend, and Ju said that John was just a friend and that he could join them. John objected and coldly said that he understood that Ju didn't want them to be together. He immediately left and said that he had something important to do and went to the rest area. John felt that he was betrayed when he saw Ju being close to another man. But he thought that he was a liar, who was not in a position to judge Ju because he also kissed another woman. He started thinking about what Shia said, that she was happy when they were together, and although John's feel good about it, he was still sad about Ju. It's been 2 years since they studied at the same coaching institute, and that's when John started to like Ju. One night while John was taking Ju home, they talked about why Ju took a break from school because of some problems in their family. When they arrived at Ju's house, her father came out and immediately pulled her away from John. Ju's father was angry and asked why she was late and why they were together. Ju explained that he was just a friend from their coaching school. Her father ignored all of that and even insulted Ju and her mother. They were called uncharacteristic. Because of this, Ju got angry and threw her bag. She told her father that the worst thing that happened to her was giving birth to this family. After this, she suddenly ran to John, held his hand, and ran away from their house. When they stopped at a garden, Ju started to laugh, and John noticed what's the problems in their family that forced Ju to drop out of school for a year. She apologized for showing such a thing and asked John to forget it. While John was thinking about what happened, he realized that Ju was still the same, and he's the only one that changed. While he was sitting, Ju came and asked if he wanted to join her. Ju brought him to the roof, and John started to think if what he was expecting from Ju was going to happen. When they arrived at the roof, Ju said that the view from that place was beautiful, and she liked it. She showed the scene, and John noticed that there were other people there. Ju said that everyone loved the vibe of the roof, and she didn't want to bring John there just for that. John thought if he was afraid to confess his feelings for Ju, but Ju started to talk about how she had more confidence when she was still a child. She was thinking about how she fought with her father and ran away from their house because John was there, but she didn't say it loudly, and told John that it's better if they should go back. John tried to explain, but Ju ignored him and left without saying anything. The truth is that Ju also loves her, and she always tried to be close to John, but she knows that because of her father, she can't get into a relationship, so she didn't want to give wrong hopes to John. She left to go home, and when John came down, he was confused about what was happening to Ju. The next day, Shia woke him up by ruffling his hair, and John was embarrassed when he saw her in front of him. John asked her why she was there, and Shia said that she woke him up because she was bored. John asked her to let him sleep because he needed to rest for his exams, and Shia needed to look for other friends. Shia got angry and threw him. She said that it was already 3 in the afternoon, and she was really bored. John took the blanket out of her hands and said that she should leave. Suddenly, the doorbell rang and a new companion arrived at the house. Finally, John got a sense of calm and began to wonder why Ju brought him to the roof. Shia suddenly called him and asked him to help the girls to move their things. He refused, but he went downstairs and was surprised to see that the new companion was none other than Rooney. They got confused and asked how they got there while Shia was just wondering. Rooney went out a few days ago to look for a new apartment, but she couldn't find anything good for her budget. At that time, she noticed the housemate wanted sign in front of Shia's gate, so she decided to try her luck. She went to Shia, and Rooney immediately noticed that she was bisexual. They talked about the apartment and asked if she could see the room. Shia showed her the room, which she is currently using as her wardrobe. The only condition is that she will not be annoyed in the presence of Shia's guy friend, who often visits. She has a slight concern about this, but Rooney agreed, and she was focused to the luxury purse in the closet and started to look around. These are Shia's sponsored content, so Shia asked if she wanted to avail some, so Rooney agreed to live with them. But now that John is in front of her, she thinks that if she knew this before, she would have refused. Shia does not know what is happening between them, but she told to John to be kind to their new housemates. John tried to be kind and helped Rooney take care of things, but Rooney took it and said that she did not need help. John wonders why she is angry after they had a date and then parted ways. He found out that Rooney texted him, but he ignored it because of Shia's kiss. Finally, John found out how bad his and Rooney's condition, and to fix it, he brought the boxes and asked Rooney where she wanted to put these. But his pronunciation of Rooney's name is wrong reaction, and she was even angrier. His hope of them being friends was ruined. Despite all that, after they put Rooney's things and Shia was still with them, they planned to have a dinner. John decided to fix his relationship with Rooney by suggesting a nice restaurant near to his college. Rooney agreed, but she has bad plans for John. They arrived at the restaurant and Rooney poured tequila for John while she and Shia drank beer. John noticed that Rooney was doing it on purpose, but he continued to drink tequila and soon got drunk. He became more playful and Shia felt a strange connection between John and Rooney. She went out to get some fresh air and John sat next to Rooney. Rooney asked if Shia was his crush that he talks about before. John said that everything was complicated and they went out to the restaurant. Shia was in the corner and she heard it all. Rooney complained that John has a higher rank than her on their group date. John realized that Rooney was angry because he left and ignored her text, and then explained that he was busy with other things. He suddenly thought of Shia's kiss, and he said he wouldn't forget it because it was his first time. Rooney thought that John was referring to their first group date, so she had a misunderstanding. He started talking about Shia and how his heart was always beating for Shia, and he started falling for this. Rooney was like in heaven. She thinks that John has fallen for her, but she doesn't know what to do with what John said. John suddenly fell on Rooney, so Rooney's heart pounded hard, and she couldn't stand it anymore. Just then, Shia came and told Rooney not to pay attention to these crazy drunkards. Shia stepped on John's foot to wake him up, and then she started patting John's back to force him to walk home. When John woke up, he saw Shia sitting next to him and smiling happily. Shia touched his hair up, and John did the same before pulling and kiss her. Shia was happy to lie next to John and said that they should make their relationship formal. But Jun was not sure. He said that no one would accept him as a lover of an idol. But Shia asked him what's the problem, and she said that she liked him and he was the perfect man for her. She asked if John didn't like her, and John said yes, he liked her, but he was still confused about how he felt about Ju. He started asking why Ju brought him to Roof, and then fell asleep. Shia did not understand what John was saying, and she lay on John's arm and said that she wanted to live a quiet and normal life. She no longer wanted to be an idol, and she wanted to continue being a normal woman with a loving lover. The next day, John woke up and saw Shia sleeping on his arm and thought she was so cute. He wanted to touch her hair. He decided to let her sleep. But while he was trying to hide from the room, Shia said that she also woke up. She said that he didn't have to pretend to be wrong because they didn't do anything but just sleep. They went out of the room and Shia suddenly turned around to touch Jun's beard. She said she wanted to do it last night, but they suddenly heard the sound of things falling to the floor and turned around and they see Rooney was so surprised. John and Shia helped. Shia went to pick up the things while Rooney was trying to understand what she heard. It took a few moments before he realized that Shia came from John's room and she was wondering if they were together. Shia just stood up and said that they slept together. John tried to explain that it wasn't like that, but Shia said that yes, they did sleep together. When John saw that the situation was getting worse, he ran outside and didn't come back until nightfall. After that, he started searching for Shia online because he couldn't stop his curiosity. He found out that Shia has outbursts of problematic behavior, such as leaving the shooting without a reason and damaging public items. John was wondering how these things happened and how Shia became like that. To get information, he decided to call his high school friend Go, one of Shia's biggest fans. When Go picked up the call, Go started to curse him and get angry because there was a one time John called his mother because he was eating outside. John said that he should forget the bad past and asked if he was still a fan of Shia. Go's tone changed when he heard that, and John asked why he wanted to know. John said that Shia was studying at their same college, and they were close as friends, but many information of her that he didn't know. Go didn't believe him, and Go said that a loser like him wouldn't be Xia's friend. After that, he said that he didn't like Xia anymore, and suddenly hung up the call. John is even more confused now and continues to think about Xia's past. He decided to stop being a stalker, and suddenly Xia came and kissed him. She came out after that and opened the door for Rooney to come back with a snack. John was realized that even though they didn't admit it, their relationship is not the same as before, and they were already enjoying their snacks. Go came to the door with food from his mother for John. Go was very angry with John, but his mother even told him that John was admitted to a good college while he couldn't find a job. Go pushed the doorbell and started screaming, so John went to look at the security camera. John was very surprised to see Go because he knew that Go was crazy about Xia, and if she get angry, the situation would be disaster. So he quickly went to the door to get food from Go. He thanked Go and immediately closed the door, which made Go even angrier because he should at least invite him to come in. Go cursed him and started going home, but he suddenly heard Xia's voice. He thought John was staying with his girlfriend, so he decided to secretly take a picture of them and send it to John's parents to get revenge. He made a fancy parkour to climb the fence and quickly went to the window, but when he saw Xia there, he immediately dropped his phone. Go was crazy about Xia for a long time, and when he said he didn't like Xia anymore, he lied. He quickly went in, broke the lock of the door that looked like a carton, and turned to Xia to ask if she could hold his hand or take a picture. John immediately came to intervene, and Go opened window to get his phone for the picture. But Xia kicked him and told him to leave. Go didn't give up easily, so the next day when John woke up, he saw Go lying on top of him. John asked how he got there, and Go said he climbed the wall. He wanted to ask about Xia, but John said he should leave. When he came down, he saw Go sitting in front of the gate and said he should go home. The next day, Go arrived at John's gate with the food, and although John wanted to accept it, he knew that the real reason Go went there was for Xia. John said that Xia didn't want to see him and asked him to keep Xia's privacy. John locked the door, and Go left angrily. Go said he was done with John and Xia, but Xia suddenly opened the door and come out. Go immediately changed his tone and give the food to Xia, and Xia accepted it. Go felt that this was the happiest day of his life. But then Xia threw it on the ground and said he didn't want to accept anything from a stalker like him. Go got angry at what Xia said and started yelling at her. John immediately went out to cover Xia. He told Go that he was in private property and he should leave quietly. Go held John on his neck and said he just wanted to talk to Xia, but John said she doesn't want to talk to Go. John insulted Go, called him a man-child, and embarrassed his mother, and Go threw him on the ground and left, saying their friendship was over. He couldn't open the gate, so he jumped on the wall again. John leaned over to look at Xia, and he saw her shaking. She didn't know if he did something wrong, and to make people angry. John asked for forgiveness for the situation. Xia felt better while next to John, and then held his hand and asked if he had plans for the cultural festival. John said he was going to set up a stall with Zhu, and Xia said that John should find the reason and look for someone else to cover for him, because she wanted them to have a date that night. John blushed when he heard that. John and Zhu met at the university where John was telling Zhu on what the whole mess with Go. Zhu laughed and John said that he was really annoyed now and hoped he would be gone. John said they should talk about something else, and Zhu asked him if he contacted Go first, because he was interested in Xia's past. John said he was also curious about that, but it might be too much if he asked Xia directly, so he won't talk about it anymore. She told John to stop asking about Xia's past because Xia wouldn't like it. John suddenly thought of Zhu and why he was called to accompany her on an errand even though she had other friends. While thinking about it, Zhu's feet suddenly slipped off the stairs, and thankfully John was able to hold him in the last moment. Zhu was saved from the heavy fall, but they were both surprised because John accidentally grabbed her marshmallows. They both laughed, and then John told Zhu to rest, while he was arranging her books. Zhu suddenly asked John to help her at the cultural festival, and he agreed even though he was wondering why Zhu wanted to accompany him, and while she was avoiding him in the past few days. John was thinking that he might still have a chance to Zhu, but now he's starting to think that he might not want to be with Zhu. In the end, he chose to have a date with Xia, who arrived wearing a dress and immediately caught everyone's attention at the cultural festival. John was surprised to see her, but he immediately put the cap on Shia's head, saying that people would recognize her in this look. He even put on his jacket for added security, and Shia called him an old and traditional male chauvinist. Nevertheless, they enjoyed themselves, and at the end of the day, while going home, John felt a little guilt for Ju. Because of the guilt he felt, he couldn't trust his feelings for Shia, and was wondering if he would accept the change in his feelings. Shia continued to accompany him, and asked him if he enjoyed their date. John asked her if she was just fooling around, or if she was serious about him. Shia said that she liked him, enough to kiss him, and John tried to make it hard to get, saying that if she was going to be his girlfriend, she should be willing to do more than just kiss. Shia was making fun of him, and asked him to say everything he wanted to do to her. But John's thoughts went to Ju again, and he was wondering if he should confess what he felt to Ju back then. Maybe what happened was better or worse. Shia called him and started making fun of him again. Shia started laughing while John was blushing, and they both laughed at each other that they didn't realize that they were already close to Ju's stall. Ju managed to finish her work, and when she looked up, she saw John and Shia. She was no longer surprised because John had already told her that he would be with Shia because he owed Shia, but she knew that there was more than what John had told her. And when she saw that they were together, she realized that she was right. The two were still staring at each other when they suddenly noticed the loud sound of music from the stage. John told Shia that it was built by a dance club and he wanted her to see it. John said it was too late, but she couldn't refuse, so they joined the crowd. The performance ended quickly, and then the host entered the stage and called anyone who wanted to perform or confess to their crush in the stage for the price around $300. Most were shocked, and John laughed, saying it was a good way to confess your feelings to your crush. Shia, on the other hand, became like a ghost in this setting that was so familiar to her, and suddenly went to the stage. John was nervous and tried to stop her, thinking that they might cause a problem. Shia went to the stage, and the host asked her to introduce herself. Shia said that she is an idol who's taking a break, and immediately the audience started looking online. Some people recognized her as an idol from the band Dream Suite, and a man from the production came to tell the host what to do next. The host started asking Shia, and they found out that she was enjoying the festival with friend. The host asked her if she would confess her feelings to the stage, and John suddenly felt that his heart was beating fast. Shia still had no reaction, and said that she would sing. The crowd became louder, and the host's feelings fell because she knew that Shia's reputation was not good. Ju suddenly came to introduce herself as Shia's friend, who came to support her because she seemed nervous. The host asked her if she was here to confess, and Ju said that she has feelings for someone. John is full of curiosity and anxiety, wondering who the lucky man is. He looked around if there was a man he could notice, and wondered if Ju knew that he was in the crowd. But Ju said that hiding her feelings is a private matter, so she will just sing now. John felt relieved, and then Ju started her favorite song. However, everyone thinks that she is not a good singer. Despite the negative reactions, Ju did not lose confidence, and John started clapping for him. The crowd followed and started celebrating for Ju. When she saw this, Shia came down from the stage and saw John waiting for her. Tears suddenly flowed from her eyes, as she was hoping for John to support her. John, thinking that he was a little disappointed because Shia did not mention his name in the stage. He found it more difficult for change of his feelings and decided that he needed to let Ju know the truth. The next day, John went to visit Shia, who did not leave her room since they returned from the festival. She did not answer, so John decided to leave, but Shia opened the door, and he pulled him to come in. Shia tied him to the door and hugged him, asking him not to leave her alone. John asked him if she wanted to eat anything, and she answered, "You, Daddy." That made John think crazy things and turned red. He started joking about his quick heartbeat, and she hugged John even more. John could no longer control himself and hugged and kissed her. He decided to leave afterwards, but Rooney was watching TV outside, and Shia said that she would catch him if he went out now. Shia said that he would stay, and John agreed. He kissed her again and brought her to bed. When she sat down in bed, he began to hesitate and asked if he should stop here or continue. He decided to be a man and finish everything. He sat down next to her and looked at Shia, who had a cold and distant expression. John felt like the romantic tension in the air was gone. John wondered if he was the only one who could feel the butterflies because Shia was no longer interested in him. They started talking about unimportant things, but John couldn't take it anymore, so he started talking about what happened last night. John told Shia not to worry too much about it because people will also forget it, and thanks to Ju for helping her by going to the stage and getting all the attention. Even so, when Shia heard Ju's name, it had the opposite effect on her. John said she should treat her to lunch as a thank you, but Shia said she didn't ask for help. She complained that all the performers at the stage were ugly and she couldn't stand watching them, and Ju was the worst of all. She was angry, and John asked her what's her problem. She didn't even sing at the stage. Shia asked if he really didn't know why she was angry, but it was obvious that John had no idea. Suddenly, Rooney knocked on the door to make sure that Shia was okay because she heard her scream earlier. John decided to leave, and Rooney wasn't happy to see him leave the room. Rooney asked if Shia was hurt, but John didn't say anything and left. When John arrived at his room, he lay in bed and wondered why everything suddenly changed. The next day, while he was on his way to school, Shia suddenly hugged him from behind and asked for forgiveness for last night. John said it was okay, and then he left, saying he was already late for class. After class, he went to help Ju with volunteer work on the last day of the cultural festival. Ju became a local celebrity after her song went viral. She ignored the jokes and was happy about it. She got a text from Shia to went to her house, but she decided to refuse because his parents didn't allow her. She said it was a waste because she wanted to spend time with John. John wondered if Ju or Shia wanted to spend time together. Nevertheless, they continued to patrol duty, and John asked Ju about the crush she mentioned on the stage. Ju was distracted and almost hit by the car, but John pulled her. They got lost in their conversation because both were embarrassed. After that, the work was done, and they decided to have dinner together. John and Ju chose not to join and just go home. When John arrived at home, he found Shia waiting for him. Shitty let him in, but when he tried to hold John's hand, he backed away. Shia hugged him, and John asked her to let him go because he needed to study, but Shia ignored him. After that, Shia stood up and asked why John was avoiding her now. John admitted that when he was with her, he felt joy and hope, but he didn't think it was right. Shia asked him what the problem, and John said it was because of Shia's mixed signals. He said he didn't know if she really liked him or she was just fooling around. Aside from this, he feels wrong to be with Shia when he still has feelings for Ju. He started going to his room, saying they were just friends and there were no other benefits. And suddenly Shia hugged him from behind. John refused to accept being friend-zoned again. He asked Shia what she was doing, and Shia said she was looking at how long John could avoid her. The next day, John was surprised to see Ju and Shia cooking a hot pot. Ju said Shia invited her to eat hot pot for lunch, and she couldn't refuse. John said he will join them after taking a bath, and he thought Shia was doing this on purpose, to put him in a difficult situation. After he came down, he asked Shia why she invited her this early. Shia replied that she called Ju to talk about her problems with a man. There was a man who was giving her attention, but since the past few days, he has been avoiding her. John was surprised to hear this, but he tried to stay calm in front of Ju. After lunch, Shia approached him many times throughout the day, trying to be as cute as possible to make him happy. She invited him to a movie date, but John refused every chance he got because he wanted them to stay friends. The next day, while he was going to class, he found Shia waiting at the gate. She looked sad, so John greeted her and gave her a snack that he kept aside for later, and he felt that he was not mentally strong enough to stop Shia. The next few hours of school, he found all the people talking about Shia coming to school to see him. He panicked when Shia asked him if he wanted to join her for a drink. John was trying to refuse, but he noticed that his senior was running to Shia, so he held Shia's hand and run. He asked Shia why she went to his college, even though everyone knew about her true identity, and Shia replied that she just wanted to be with him. John noticed how dangerous the walls he built between them, and he told that they should just drink at home. He told Shia to go home while he bought a beer. But they didn't notice a mysterious stalker taking pictures of them. Meanwhile, John bought a beer and saw Rooney eating and drinking alone in a restaurant. He come to her, asked why she was drinking, and Rooney said that Shia and him was the reason why he was drinking. She didn't know why she's not feeling good when she saw John and Shia together, and Rooney asked if they were okay. John said that he couldn't fight Shia's emotional game, and Rooney felt that her feelings were getting worse. On the other hand, Shia noticed the stalker who was constantly taking pictures of her. She tried to avoid him, but he chased her up to her home. Meanwhile, John came back from his shopping and saw the stalker. John called the stalker and he ran away. Then Shia also ran and asked John if he saw the face of the man, but he didn't see it. Shia didn't say that the man was a stalker, and they went inside to drink. A week passed while Rooney was on her way home from school. She couldn't help but think of John. She was wondering if she had fallen for him when John suddenly approached him from behind and grabbed Rooney's bag. Rooney was surprised, but John said that he was just looking at how heavy her bag and was trying to help her to carry it. They started walking home, and the only thing Rooney thought of was the moments they spent together on a group date. Even so, John didn't show interest in Rooney and asked her about Shia because after they drank, they walked together that day. Shia said that John went home early and she didn't see him often since then. Rooney said that Shia was always in her room since that happened and wondered why Shia's looks important to John. She also thinks that John confessed to her that day when she was drunk, and she thinks it's still important. She chose to move on, but when they arrived at home, they saw the stalker waiting again. He ran away and Rooney was just about to get hit. But it's a good thing John grabbed her and avoided the hit. Rooney was very shocked, and John asked if she was okay, and she got even closer to John. Shia suddenly came out, and when they saw each other, Shia started laughing to hide the pain she was feeling. A few days passed, and Shia and Rooney were not the same as themselves. John felt the awkwardness of the situation, so he invited them to a barbecue party. Shia and Rooney agreed to the idea. But while they were setting up the grill, Rooney said that the party looked boring, and there were only 3 of them. John invited Ju, and Rooney asked who she was. John said that she was a friend from high school that they used to hang out with. They invited her, but she was not the only one on the guest list. Go came to deliver the meat, and Shia looked at them as if they were enemies, but Go immediately apologized in front of Shia, and Shia forgave him. Ju also arrived with extra ready-to-eat food and drinks, and then Shion also came, he is John's housemate, and joined the party. They had a happy bonding, but the stalker was still there taking pictures of them, but they were busy so they didn't notice it. Later, Rooney noticed the face of a new actor in the sausage package, and John said that he had seen him do it in other ads. Rooney said that maybe it's good to be a celebrity, but Shia was not happy with what Rooney said. Shia asked what they think of a day in the life of a celebrity. Everyone said that they are beautiful, have a lot of fans and money, but Shia said that they don't know much about them. As celebrities, they need to adjust to people who take pictures of them wherever they go, and always have cameras in their faces. They got bashed online for no reason, and they have no privacy. When John suddenly saw the flash of the stalker's camera looking at the pictures, Guo immediately took the stalker's camera and ran away. John tried to catch the stalker, but the stalker fell into a garbage dump. John was also crushed, and he caught the stalker. Guo and Yun came to help John, and they brought the stalker back home. The stalker said that he was just a new photographer who was practicing his skills, but everyone did not believe him, and he was recognized by Ju as a student in their college. They identified the camera, and they saw that he was a habitual offender, so they said that they should pass him to the police. There, man begged for forgiveness and asked not to take him to the police. But Shia suddenly said that she did not plan to take him to the police because they can't do anything about it. She already went to the police before, but they said that they would not help because the pictures were not dangerous, and it was not shared, so they could not do anything. Shia said that there is a better way to deal with such people, and they just need to teach him a lesson. John said that they should not break the law, but Shia said that he should just get hurt and break some bones. Shia took a bottle of beer and said it was okay as long as they did not make him disabled for the rest of his life. Guo took the bottle from her and said that he will do it. John stopped Guo and said that they might be charged for this. Because of this, Shia went back inside the house. Everyone asked what they would do to the man, but they suddenly heard the sound of a broken mirror and noticed that Ju smashed the bottle on the man's head. Ju always hides her feelings, and sometimes, when her stress is too much, she loses her control. She pointed the thin bottle of beer at the stalker and asked him why he should not blink his eyes. That's the kind of thing Guo wanted to do, so he helped Ju. John was very scared and he called the police, but John stopped him and said that it's not good to call the police now. Cheyenne showed the meaning of the felony and said that what they are doing is a criminal offense. Inside the house, Shia is watching a YouTube video of Yami anime, but the only thing in her mind is the memories of her bitter past. She is always pressured by the media and repeatedly pushed by his agent to show more skin, because that's the easy ticket to success. Shia couldn't do all of that, so she decided to quit the showbiz industry. She ran away while on set and tried cigarette to get rid of her worries. But that was not the solution. She kept crying, but John came, so she let him in. She tried to avoid talking about the stalker, but John told her they already handled it. They didn't call the police because of what Ju did, but they got the stalker's student ID, even the memory card, and a written promise that he would never do it again. Gu and Cheyenne went to the stalker's house to remove the pictures from his computer, so she didn't have to worry about it anymore. John said that now she is free to do whatever she wants with the stalker, but she probably won't get anything from hurting him. John tried to leave, but Shia suddenly hugged him and asked if she could kiss him. John got nervous and got tempted, so she started to kiss John's hand. John became uncomfortable by it, and they laughed because of his reaction. After that, he quickly ran out of the room, trying to calm his fast heartbeat. John thought that the stalker's case was over, but Shia plans to use the truth that he is a stalker to destroy his future and give the details to each company that he wants to enter. John is afraid of Shia's beast mode, but he said she would do what she wanted to do. Ju and Rooney arrived as Shia's best friend, and they often hang out together. So John wonders what to do with his feelings. He went to Cheyenne to ask for advice, and Cheyenne said that when he first saw Shia, he was thinking to get in touch with her. But he decided not to continue because she was too emotional, and he's not ready for that. He said to think carefully about his feelings, and if he's serious, he shouldn't hold back his feelings. Because of John's extreme concern for his feelings and his college life. He was tired for the final exams. He lay down on Shia's sofa and told her to wake him up after an hour because he had a class get-together. Even though he was tired, Shia told him how about they have a good vacation during the semester break. John agreed and told Shia that he will go anywhere if he was with her, but Shia suddenly became quiet. John tried to find out what was happening and he saw Shia was blushing. John was embarrassed because of Shia's reaction. But suddenly the doorbell rang and Ju was at their gate with luggage, so their story became more complicated.